Hey folks, Ed here, back again with the second part of our Eldritch Moon Draft League. So we've done the draft, we built the deck. We're going to go ahead and hit the play button now and get into our first match. Holy cow, that was quick. That was instantaneous, by the way, in case that didn't get caught on camera. Okay, we wanted to die roll. Would we like to play first? Yes, we would. And we've got Trostad on 2. And then nothing for quite a while. I think this is a rough one. I think we're going to keep this. We do have a lot of turn 2, turn 3 plays. So this isn't the worst hand ever. Was kind of hoping that we catch a Madness card. We do not have a Madness card. That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and do the Pale Rider. And I think I'm going to get rid of... I'm going to get rid of the Midnight Scavengers. I mean, I know it could come back and help us out on turn 5, but I think I'd rather have the Crusader in hand. Okay, so they don't have a play, so that's good for us. So we're going to be able to swing in for 3. We do have a bit of removal. Certain Death, we're a couple turns away from being able to cast, so I'm not going to count on that. But Angelic Purge. Boon! Ruins our day. Really hope we can catch something we can... Okay, but at least now we know we can do the Crusader next turn if need be. Kind of wishing now, maybe I should have pitched Certain Death. I might have wanted to pitch Certain Death, because then at least the Midnight Scavenger could have brought back our Pale Rider. Revenant has got Skulk. So yeah, we're going to bring out the Crusader here. So we're not going to be able to block the Revenant because it does have Skulk, but it's also lifelink, but we have something bigger with lifelink, so that's good for us. Okay, and they have, I'm assuming, removal for this? Yeah, Fiery Temper. Oh well. Choking Restraints, Angelic Purge, we've got a ton of removal here. What would we like to use right now? I'm going to go ahead and put Choking Restraints on the Revenant. There might be a better target for it, but since we have 2 other pieces of removal, I'm not too worried. Hounds, or Hound of the Farbog. That one we're going to Certain Death. Oh, okay, maybe we could bring out Faithbearer. What do we want? Do we want Faithbearer? You know, I'm going to Certain Death, because this way, if we need to later on, we can Angelic Purge and use one of our lands. But we wouldn't have been able to do that and cast Certain Death later on, unless we caught another land, so... And then this turn, we'll probably bring out the Faithbearer Paladin. Graph Rats. And the Skeleton. Might Angelic Purge the Graph Rats. Just in case they have a Midnight Scavenger. So, let's bring out the Faithbearer first. Curious if they're going to have a Midnight Scavenger. See if they swing in with anything. Just gonna take it. I'm not concerned. Swing in with the Faithbearer. I'm going to actually get rid of Choking Restraints to exile the Skulker. And yeah, I'm not going to use Angelic Purge yet. In case there is a better target coming up, I'm not going to use Angelic Purge just yet. I'll be kicking myself if they make me discard, but Supplicant, that's fine too. And I'm fairly certain they don't have Midnight Scavengers, because if they did, they would have done something with it already. Let's get rid of... They can double block this, so let's get rid of the Supplicant. I mean, I don't think they have Midnight Scavenger. This could cause more problems for us. No, you know what? I'm gonna get rid of the Graph Rats. And get rid of one of our planes. So this will exile it, so we don't have to worry about him being able to do anything. If he does have Midnight Scavengers, and I don't think he does, but just in case. It's going to block. Does he also have, I'm guessing he has some sort of pump or removal? That'll do it. And we will bring out the Vampire. Duelist? Okay, that's fine. So they'll be able to swing in for 3, 4, 5 in total. No, 6 in total, sorry. Keeping up the Sanitary Skeleton, I'm assuming, so they can chump block. Tree of Perdition doesn't really do much for us as far as switching life totals, because they do have 13 and 13. I'm going to keep the Weirded Vampire up. No, I'm going to swing in. Because this will force them to make the trade and spend some extra mana. I mean, they don't have to make the trade, but... So this will be able to defend for days. They probably have removal. I'm assuming they have some sort of removal in hand. Haunted Dead. That is A-okay. Whew. Well, we are definitely good for land right now. Kind of hoping to grab anything other than the land at this point. Yeah, I don't think that will really help them as much as... Unless they have Madness, some sort of, you know, a Madness card in hand. That could be useful. They have us by air right now, which is unfortunate, but not much we can do about it. So the opponent is definitely in the think tank right now. Catbus 86. So I'm guessing they were born in 86, because typically that seems to be when people put 2-digit number on the end of their name. It's the year that they're born. Rise from the Grave. This could be useful. What do they have that we might want? We've got 4 cards, so we do have Delirium. Midnight Scavengers gets us a 2-for-1. Because then we can also bring back a 2-cost card like Pale Rider. But the Hounds may be better with Menace. No, I'm going to bring back... Yeah, I'm going to bring back Midnight Scavengers. That's 5, right? I put, yeah. So, Midnight Scavengers. And then they will bring back the Pale Rider. Use the ability, yes. And discard the swamp. And I think we swing in with the weirded vampire here. They could double block, and that's fine. I'm not too worried about that. They could bring Haunted Dead and put it back into their graveyard. That's okay as well, too. Because it does cost 2 cards in hand for them to be able to bring that back. Spreading Flames. That is unfortunate. We got a bit of the removal out of their hand, which is good. Certain Death, which is less good. So now we're in more rush shape. They are completely out of cards, which is great. They're still playing it really safe with the like I'm surprised they didn't swing it for with the duelist as well too. Still catching land. This is just rough for us. We have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 1 in the graveyard. 9 of our lands. Yikes. So that means there's 14 cards in our deck which are not lands, so hopefully we'll catch one of those soon. Another Certain Death. Holy cow. So this has gotten bad for work. Oh, and I think this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're 1 away from death. And another land. Nothing we can do about that, folks. There is nothing we can do about that. So we're just going to concede. Begin the sideboarding. Should we splash for red? Part of me wants to. Part of me really wants to. What will we take out? Probably Campaign of Vengeance would be one of the things we would take out if we're going to splash. Because if we were going to splash, I'd be bringing in these 3 cards here. Spreading Flames, Assemble Alphas, and Alchemist Greeting. And we could take out Campaign of Vengeance. Maybe the Tree. And then possibly Succumb to Temptation. No, I like Succumb to Temptation. Maybe Grotesque Mutation. Let's do that. Let's try this. The tree's really good, but yeah. Bring in Spreading Flames. I mean, these are all high-cost cards, though, as well, too. No, you know what? Let's tinker with that in another game. For now, let's just keep the deck as is, submit it, and see how it goes. Would we like to play first? Yes. Yes, we would like to mulligan this. Jesus. Mulligan. This will keep. And put that on top of our library, because we definitely need a swamp. This is a rough start for us here. And they're going to start off with something right away, which is good for them, bad for us. At least we can block it for days now. Graph Rats. Ideally, we get another swamp here so I can just succumb to temptation. Excellent. This is good. This is good for us. I'm going to keep up Guardian of Pilgrims. And then succumb is an instant, so that works out well for us as well, too. We can maybe catch up a little bit on our card hand or our hand size deficit. And we will succumb to the temptation. Rise from the Grave is not a card I wanted to see right away. Asylum Visitor. Yeah. I will bring out Asylum Visitor right now. We have enough for Rise from the Grave, even though there's nothing in anyone's graveyard that we would want Arisen. Declare attackers. I'm going to keep up the Guardian. They're stuck on 2 lands, so I should probably be a bit more aggressive here. Because they can't even bring back the Sanitarium Skeleton. So let's go ahead and swing in with... Let's swing in with the Guardian of Pilgrims. They will make that block, and that is fine. I have enough for certain death, which means I can take out their Sanitarium Skeleton. I can also rise from the grave the Guardian of Pilgrims, but I'm not going to do that this turn. We have the Crusader, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and bring out the Crusader, actually. 5. And they're still stuck on 2, which is good for us. Part of me just wants to swing in with the Visitor. It's got haste as well, too. Well, then let's just go ahead and swing in with both. Because they can't bring Sanitarium Skeleton out. They don't have the lands for it. They will block it. That makes sense. And then we can rise from the grave... Actually, we can rise from the grave their Sanitarium Skeleton and stop them from being able to continually recur it into their hand. I don't think they're going to waste their time on that right now. Supplicant. I think we're just going to go ahead and certain death that. Swing in with the Crusader. I forget that Markov Crusader has that extra ability where it's got haste as long as you control a vampire. Okay. Yeah, they were land screwed. There was it's a horrible way to win. I'm glad we got the win, but it's never a fun way to win. So I think we're okay. Considering we did have to mulligan twice, I'm surprised we ended up pulling out that game, but that had a lot to do with the fact that they got majorly land screwed. I think we'll just keep everything the way it is and see how it works out for us. This is a much better opening hand. At least we have a turn 2 play. We have the Midnight Scavengers to go with the Grafrat, which is especially nice for us. And we're going to go ahead and keep it. They kept their hand as well too, so I'm assuming they're doing a bit better than their last game as far as what cards are in their hand. So we can Graph Rats this coming turn, and then Guardian of Pilgrims and pump it a little bit. We'll see if this lives more than a second. Seeing as how they now have red up. We also have a bit of removal, affordable removal in hand. Topplegeist. Do we bring out both? Topplegeist and... Well, because Topplegeist is flying, yeah, so it makes sense, actually. So Topplegeist... They're thinking. And we'll bring out Guardian Pilgrims to pump the Graph Rats. And we'll swing in for 3. So we're tapped out, but we do have a trick in hand for later that may be able to save the bacon of one of our creatures, should they decide to do any burn. We also have Tree of Perdition. Okay, well none of these can block flyers, so let's just go ahead and swing in with the Topplegeist. Bring in the tree, which next turn could bring them down to 13 instead of 16, which would be good for us. It also gives them a target that they would probably want to use removal on and leave these guys alone for the time being. It's going to take it. Oh, I guess I could have blocked it with tree. That was silly. I wasn't even thinking there. No, I'm gonna... I mean, I could do the switch right now. Let's do this. Let's swing in with Topplegeist. And I'm going to keep up for either Succumb or Grotesque Mutation, whichever one's better. I can tap Tree of Perdition this turn and switch life totals. A block with Tree of Perdition. Oh, it needs 2. It's got Menace, that's right. Forgot that little guy has Menace. So he's putting a counter on that. That's cool. Because we can Angelic Purge this. I was hoping to save it till I got another land out so I could bring Midnight Scavengers out, but I think I may just go ahead and purge this. I could wait for him to try to make it a little bit bigger later on. We will be able to draw cards. I'm almost guaranteed that I'm going to be using the Succumb to Temptation this turn. See what they do here. Rotten Hard Ghoul, that's fine. Why not? And Succumb to Temptation. Crypt Breaker is good for us. Rise from the Grave is great for us as well too. Here, I think we just Midnight Scavengers here. Do we Midnight Scavengers right now? Or do we maybe Angelic Purge this? This becomes a 5/6. We can actually then, yeah, you know what? We're going to do this. We're going to Midnight Scavengers. Because we can rise from the grave the Midnight Scavengers as well too. Should this attack go horribly wrong for us. They might just try to take out the Graph Rats, but they can't take it out right now. They'll have to wait. I think, and should I swing into the Guardian Pilgrims as well too? I'm going to swing with the Topplegeist for sure. They'd have to double block this. They could double block it with this, with these two. I'm hoping they can toss, they maybe toss these two to make this grow, because I can then Angelic Purge that. I mean, I've got a huge blocker for it anyways, so I'm not super worried, but they're not blocking at all. Okay, this is fine. I am okay with this. So they did have Midnight Scavengers, so... Okay, so now the order in which I want to do this stuff. I can Angelic Purge, take care of one of the lands, and leave up for Grotesque Mutation. I'm going to Angelic Purge that. Get rid of one of the swamps. Now their options of being able to block Chittering Host are less. So let's go ahead and swing it with Chittering Host and the Topplegeist. So we have up for Grotesque Mutation if we need it. So 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, I think I just want Midnight Scavengers to go to the graveyard. I don't want to discard anything. And I'll keep Grotesque Mutation for the next turn as well, too. I think that's good. Because they're doing 5, they're not killing it. And then this way we don't have to discard a card. I'm not going to Grotesque Mutation. Because it wouldn't have been lethal, and I want to hold off on it until it is actually lethal. Which it could be next turn for us. Hound, okay. Gonna block Tree of Perdition with it. So we're not taking damage. They are gaining 1 life, but that's fine. And here I think we just swing in with everything. Because we have Grotesque Mutation, so. Because they can only block. Yeah, we've got. I think we've won. Or I'm about to make a horrible mistake. One of the two. As well, none of these are instants, right? No, that is an instant. So, declare attackers. I'm going to attack with all of them. Now we'll see how they do the blocks, because they have to block too to the Chittering Host because it has Menace. So so that's not quite enough. 5, 6. 2, 5. It's not quite enough for lethal. Yeah, it's not quite enough for lethal. We can take care of both of these, though. So we'll sign it like that. So I am okay with this, actually. And now we're going to rise from the grave. The Midnight Scavengers. Bring back the Graph Rats. Use it. Obviously, we can't bring out the Graph Rats this turn. We can bring it out next turn. Topplegeist now allows us to start tapping. So they can't gain life. Reduce to ashes. That's okay. We should have them next turn. They have nothing that can block our flyer, and we can pump the flyer as well, too. So let's just go ahead and swing in with Topplegeist. If they have burn, they can take care of Topplegeist, which is unfortunate. Do they have the burn in hand? No. Excellent. So there we go, folks. After that first loss, I seriously considered splashing for red. I'm glad I sort of stuck to my guns and left it white-black. Our opponent did have a horrible second game. Their draw was awful. Obviously, they were stuck on 2 lands. I mean, granted, we also, for our own, we had a mulligan down to 5, I think it was. So it wasn't like we had the best hand either. It was either 5 or 4. I can't even remember. But it wasn't super, super great for us either. Still, in the end, we pulled it off. So we've got our first match win in this league. So that is the end of this part. We will be doing the second match in the third part of this series. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, comments, advice, please leave that in the comment section below. You can also follow us on Twitter. It's @BrainPulpTV, or you can follow and contact me directly on Twitter @GeekTragedy. And now that all this is said, take care, everyone. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. It means a lot to us here, and I'll see you all very soon.